What's going on, everybody? David here. I am back. Yes, I'm back. So we're gonna do a live stream today. This is the first live stream this week, or this weekend, I should say. And I know, I wasn't on Saturday. I wasn't coming on Sunday, but Saturday was kind of up in the air. But I got called into work, so I wasn't able to make it. So we're gonna do one today, and then I want to talk a little bit about the live streams as well. When is the best time to actually do them? So as you guys come in the room, just let me know you're here just by saying hello. And if you're coming from anywhere strange, I should say strange, anywhere out of the country, just let me know you're coming from out of the country. Let's say if you're on a trip or you're doing something, um, or you live in another country, just let me know. Let me know where you're coming from. Even if you're in the U.S., let me know as well. But yeah, so we are back today. And let me know also if everything sounds okay, if everything looks okay, if there are any issues or anything like that. Please let me know so I can kind of correct those on the fly. Hopefully, we can correct it on the fly. And let's see, we got ImageWire. What's going on, buddy? Fairfield, California. David, how you doing? And David's in South Carolina. No, that's Utah, right? Marriott in Utah. Okay, Senior James, what's going on? New to the chat. I haven't seen you before, buddy. Let's see. Okay, so David's saying everything is great, so that's good. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about Costa Rica. So we'll do a little talk about Costa Rica, just my experience, and then let's see. Senior's coming from Pennsylvania, I think. Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about Costa Rica. I'll just kind of go through my experience in Costa Rica, and then we'll get on to some question and answers. So if you guys have questions and stuff like that about Costa Rica or about anything, then you can post it. Now, this is the first stream that I've done all week, so I can kind of encompass everything in today. We can talk a little bit about travel credit cards if you guys want to do that as well. But yeah, since we're only doing one day, let's kind of put everything together. But Costa Rica is going to be the main topic. Well, we'll talk a little bit about that. So if you've never been to Costa Rica, or if you've been to Costa Rica and you have some other experiences that you've had while you were there, please let us know in the chat, and then we can talk about that and help each other out when it comes to traveling to Costa Rica. Costa Rica is a beautiful country. I think I was there for about 6 days, so I didn't spend that much time there, but I spent enough time to get around the whole country. It's a very small country, so you can drive it. I didn't personally drive it, but we had a driver that took us around the whole country and took us to all the little hot spots. The only thing that I didn't like about Costa Rica is the fact that everything is so spread out. There's certain places. What's going on, Braveheart? There's certain places like in I always go back to Colombia, I know, but in Colombia, I know Colombia well, and so you'll have a central location like Pacayeres or La Setenta, and you have a bunch of stuff right there, and so you don't have to go far. There are certain attractions where you might have to drive a little bit to get there, but with Costa Rica, I found that everything was pretty much spread out. It was so we had to drive a long distance. I'm talking 3-4 hour drives to get to the waterfalls where we wanted to go. Hour and a half or 2 hours to go to Arenal volcano. So we had to drive a lot. So that was the only thing I really didn't like about about Costa Rica, is the fact that we had to drive so much. But the landscape is beautiful. I mean, it's green. And like I just said, you have volcanoes. You have so many nice things in Costa Rica to photograph. So if you're into photography, or you just want to get some nice pictures that you can put on your Instagram, Costa Rica is the place to go for that. And as far as food goes, food was okay. I didn't have like a bad meal, but they have a lot of the things that you have in the U.S. in Costa Rica, but they're not the same. And I know you don't go to a foreign country to eat like Popeye's chicken, but if it's there, I want to try it just to see, just to compare it to what it is, how it is in the U.S. And there's no comparison. It was not very good. That was probably the worst meal that I had. But other than that, we went to a lot of different places. We had a driver, and that driver took us everywhere. and it was just us. So me and my buddy and the driver, and we would go all over. So he was taking us to some smaller spots, kind of the spots that he would recommend, and they were pretty good. The food was pretty good there. So pretty good experience with the food. But like I said, you have a lot of places that you have in the U.S., which kind of, for me, Costa Rica felt like I was in the U.S. It did, because you have, like, you're driving down the street and you look and you have a strip mall, and the strip mall has Applebee's, and most places will have like a Burger King, but they have like Applebee's, Burger King, Papa John's, and all these different places that are familiar to the U.S. And so that's, you kind of get that vibe. Like, I got the vibe like I'm in the U.S. I'm not even in another country. So that was kind of one of those things I didn't really like too much. Because when I go to a different country, I like to feel like I'm in another country, and I want to be able to experience. Although I said, like, Popeyes, let me put it this way: if I see a restaurant that I wouldn't think would be in the U.S., or I'm sorry, wouldn't think would be in Costa Rica, or wouldn't think would be in another country, and I eat that in the U.S., then yeah, I want to try it out. But other than that, like, if it's just a bunch of just American companies there, yeah, I don't really like that too much. So I try to stay away from that, or stay away from countries like that, I should say. But all in all, my overall opinion of Costa Rica, it was pretty good. All right, if you guys are in the chat right now, please hit the like button. We're trying to get up to 30 likes, and I know if we get up to 30 likes, we can get more and more people in here, and hopefully join the fun. And like I said, for those of you who just jumped in, we're talking about Costa Rica today, so I'll kind of go over my whole plan from point A to from start to finish, how I got there, how much it would cost generally, where I stayed, all that good stuff. I'll show you guys all that in a few minutes. So if you guys are in here right now, hit the like button so we can get more and more people in here. Please share this with your friends too. If you share it on Facebook, just let them know, hey, come in if you guys are interested in going to Costa Rica, or if you've been to Costa Rica before and you have some input, please put it in the chat so you can help others. But like I said, Costa Rica, if you are into nature, then Costa Rica is a perfect spot for you, because there's so many things there. Nature-wise that you can experience. We went to this waterfalls, and I can't even remember the name. Hopefully, I'll pull it up. They have these different excursions, so hopefully I'll be able to pull it up and give you guys the name. But it was amazing. That waterfall, that whole place, it's just a series of waterfalls, and it was an amazing place. Now, I will say, I learned a valuable lesson when I was in Costa Rica. And I'll give you this story real quick, and then we'll go into Costa Rica. But I learned a valuable lesson about, for those of you who don't know, I'm a photographer, so I go out, and every destination that I go to, I'm trying to take pictures, landscape pictures, and just pretty much pictures of everything. I'll do some street photography. I'll do all that. So this was the first time that I ever had a hard drive fail on me. And so generally, my old practice was I would have a hard drive, just an external hard drive. I don't have one with me, but an external hard drive. And I would take pictures, I'd do video, I'd have all that stuff, and I'd put it on the hard drive. And that's it. And so for my whole trip, I would work off this one hard drive. And this trip, when I got home, I had all my images and all the video and everything. When I got home, it failed. And I couldn't recover it. And so I'm thinking, okay, it's not going to be that much to get it recovered. I'll just contact, I can't remember what brand hard drive it was. I'll just contact them, and they'll understand, right? And it can't be that expensive. So they wanted, I think $600, between $500 and $600 just to look at it. And they couldn't promise that they could recover everything that was on there. So didn't do that. Didn't go that route. And just learned a valuable lesson. Whenever you travel, especially if you're doing this and you want to take pictures, and what I do a lot is I take a lot of landscape pictures and I sell the prints. So if you're working like that and you want to have this footage in the videos, and obviously the videos I put on YouTube and all that good stuff, then you're going to need to back it up more than once. And really take care of your gear, like your hard drives and stuff. Because in my situation, I dropped the hard drive, so it was my fault. Dropped the hard drive when I got home, and didn't think anything of it because I've dropped hard drives before and nothing happened. But dropped this one, and yeah, it didn't want to work. So now I'll just kind of go over my routine now, and this routine is yeah, I do this every time now. So when I travel, I will have three different forms of backup. Okay, so I'll have the hard drive. I'll have the external hard. Actually, I have two external hard drives now. So I have one that's like just a big hub, and I can put everything on there. And then I'll bring so it's like a 4 terabyte hard drive. I'll have one, and then I'll have a 1 terabyte hard drive. Usually I don't fill up a 1 terabyte, but the 4 terabyte hard drive that I have, it has an area where I can just put the SD card right in there. So if I'm out in the field, if I'm out shooting, I can just put the SD card in there, and it will download all that information, or it will transfer all that information onto the hard drive. So that way I have it right there in the field. I don't have to worry about losing the SD card and all that good stuff. So I have that. And then once I get back to the hotel, then I have another external hard drive. I'll copy it to that one, and then I try to leave as many SD cards like full as possible. So once I shoot with the SD card, take that SD card, put it in my bag, and then keep it, and not erase it. Just keep it until I get home, and then when I get home, I have another hard drive that I can put in on my hard drive at home. So that's kind of the way that I work things. I did have some footage still, only because I still had them on the SD cards because I didn't erase them. So I did have a little bit, and like I just put up a video, put that video up, was it a couple of days ago. Kind of my trailer. You guys got to check out my trailer. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think about it. It's not in the trailer section. I just put it in the regular section. So it was the latest video that I uploaded. But I had some footage from Costa Rica on there. Just little quick clips. But yeah, the majority of the stuff that I have from Costa Rica is gone. So that just means I have to go back. But yeah, little disheartening, that whole thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me open this up. I'm still working with one computer, or I should say one monitor. If you don't know, last week I had an issue with my computer. The monitor stopped working, and I went to try to get that fixed. And let's just say the computer, I paid $900 for it, and to change the screen or to put a new screen on there, it's going to cost $300. So, yeah, and I'm going to do it because the computer's new. I've only had the computer about 3 months, and it was just one of those deals where I was picking it up, and I noticed the screen started flickering. I was holding. I shouldn't have. Usually, when I have my little 13-inch laptop, I just hold it by the bevel on the top of the screen. But it's a much more robust piece of equipment than the computer that I bought. Believe it or not, I bought like a gaming computer, and I was holding it by the bevel, and it just the screen was gone. I saw it start flickering, and then it just went away, and I couldn't get it back on. So, yeah, they want $300 to fix it. So I need to get it done, and I know I looked online, I looked on YouTube, and tried to see if I could do it myself. You can. But the computer that I have happened to be one that it's a little more difficult to do. So I'm going to leave that to the professionals. I'll go ahead and pay the $300 and just go that route. Okay. Let's go ahead and open this up here. And let me see who's in the chat real quick, see if anybody else jumped in. If you guys are in here right now, if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. And please share it with your friends on Facebook, wherever, just so we can get more and more people in here. Let's see. That guy, what's going on? And what is this? I can't read your name. Natabal. I can't read it. 2007. What's going on, buddy? Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and switch over here. Now, I want to take you guys through just kind of my process when I'm getting ready to travel. There's certain things that I do. and look at before I travel. So the first thing that I do is I go to Google Flights. And Google Flights is amazing. If you guys have um, if you guys have somewhere that you want to travel to, then you just type in what city that you're coming from. So in this case, I put Los Angeles, so that's where That's where I'm showing that I'm coming from. Why my mouse is not working here. Let's see here. Okay, so Los Angeles, that's where I'm coming from, and it will give you a map. Like, you can click on the map portion. It'll give you a map of everywhere, the whole world, and it will show you how much tickets are all over the world. So it gives you really. I'm a visual person, so I like to just look at things and see. Okay, I can go here, 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 as opposed to looking at it kind of like in a list format where I have to kind of scroll down that way. I can see everything that I want right here. And the things that are in green, I think those are the best deals or the lowest price or something like that. I don't know exactly how that works as far as the green, to be honest with you. But looking at the trip to Costa Rica, San Jose, and that's where I flew into, San Jose, $294. That's coming from Los Angeles. Very good price. So that's where I would go. So basically, you just click on that, and it'll take you to another part of the site where it'll show you exactly who you can fly with. So I can fly with Volaris. I've never flown with them before, but that's the one that's $294. If you want to go with Delta, it's going to be $469. And then Avianca is doing it for $503. Then you can view all the flights if you want. And it'll give you a list of all the different flights so you can get an idea of the different price ranges. This would be Aeromexico, $455, Copa. I've flown on Copa, I've flown on Avianca. Those are both good airlines to fly to that area. So that's pretty much how I do that. Now, let's say if you're one of those people that have points like me and you want to use your points, well, you can look at Award Hacker. And Award Hacker will give you some information as far as how many points it would cost or take, how many points you would need to use in order to get to Costa Rica. Now, Award Hacker does a good job, but you obviously you need to go to the website, go to Alaska, see exactly how much it's going to be. They're giving you the lowest price or the lowest point value. This is a round trip, so we're talking 10,000 points for a round trip. But like I said, you need to look into it to make sure that it'll all work out. But some really good deals. This is economy here. They were both economy. So economy with Google Flights and economy on here. So you can really get to Costa Rica for a very good, very good setup. Like you can get out there 15,000 points round trip. That's a really inexpensive ticket. Now, you do need to understand Costa Rica is a little more expensive. So Central America, South America, Costa Rica is up there in price. So when I say price, I mean cost of everything. It's not the cheapest. Okay, so you will be paying a little bit more than you would pay if you were in Colombia. If you're in Colombia, you're going to pay less for just everyday things, for food and all that good stuff. It's still relatively reasonable, and it's going to be cheaper than the U.S., so that's good, but it's not going to be your money doesn't go as far as it will in other countries like Colombia. I won't even say Venezuela, but Colombia, in other countries in that area. Okay, let's see. Now, the next thing I want to look at, too, is I want to show you guys where I stayed. So I stayed at the Hyatt Place in San Jose, and this place this is an amazing place to stay. Let's just say that. Hyatt Place, generally, they're very inexpensive, and I think we were paying in the neighborhood of maybe $50 to $60 per night. And it was the perfect setup. As you can see, it sits behind this strip mall right here, but it's actually attached to the strip mall. So going in, you see where the sign is, the Hyatt Place sign here. You just go right in there, and you'll walk right in. And then you go up the elevator, and then you're here. And so it was perfect because it was in the strip mall. So we had food there, different little things if we wanted to go shopping, stuff like that. You had the ATMs. You have all that stuff right here. So we really didn't have to leave if we didn't want to. As far as when I say leave, I mean, of course, we left to do the excursions and all that kind of stuff, but we didn't have to leave as far as let's say if we needed to get something to eat, like a quick bite to eat, we didn't have to leave. We could just go here, and they had a few different. They had a really nice restaurant here. I think it was El Salvadorian restaurant. Really good food there. But all in all, pretty good location. The pool's not so. Let's go through some of this. So this is kind of the setup of the room. This bed pulls out. So if you do just, this is just a king. We had the two queens, but if you have just a king, you do have a bed that will pull out just if you have someone coming over or something like that. So that's nice. They also, the pool here, not a very nice pool. I'll have to admit the pool wasn't. This is it. This is the pool. Very small, and it's right by a busy street, so it's not very quiet. It's pretty noisy in there. We didn't use a pool at all, but it is there. Food was good. You have breakfast, free breakfast every morning. That's one of the good things about Hyatt Place. You get the free breakfast. You don't have to have any type of status or anything like that, so you'll get that. That comes with your with the cost of your room, and the food was good. As far as generally in the U.S. Hyatt Place, the breakfast, they'll usually have like three hot things, I guess you could say. Like they'll have eggs, sausage, and then some type of either like pancakes or waffles or something like that. And then they'll have everything else like cereal and all that, the cool stuff if you want that. But for the most part, this place had a nicer spread. They had more stuff. They were kind of with the same, I don't know, the South America, Central America thing where sausage is not really sausage. It's like wieners, like hot dog wieners, that kind of stuff. So just be aware of that. They never really had like sausage, but they would have ham sometimes. We were there for 6 days, so every day that we went down, they had something different. So it's good. Plus, they had some traditional Costa Rican kind of style of food. Like they would have like, it was almost like the jalapeno pop. It was a jalapeno. It was kind of like a jalapeno popper. So they served that at breakfast a lot. They served that a few different days, and they had this rice that was really good, rice and then beans and stuff like that. So it was good. The breakfast was good. No complaints about the breakfast at all. Just kind of scroll through these, see if there's anything else on here. Yeah, it's a front lobby. That's at night. Okay, so we'll just scroll through all these. Now, I do want to show a map view just to give you kind of and this is what our room looked like here. So we had the two beds here, then you have this couch that does pull out to a bed too. So if you have 5 people or 2 couples and one person, you want to do it that way, you can do it that way. Now, staying at the Hyatt Place, they did have like a company that was contracted out with Hyatt. I think they were contracted. I don't know exactly how it all worked, but when we got there, we didn't have any plans as far as we hadn't set up any excursions or anything like that. And so we didn't have, so basically we went to the front counter and just asked them, hey, can we do some excursions? Do you guys have anything like that? So they had a company that was there, and basically they do the airport runs pretty much, but they also do the excursions and all that. And so we bought the first excursion, and we went out with this guy Martin. And after going out with him, and he could speak English, like not fluently, but we were able to communicate. And after going out with him, we hit him up that same day. Hey, can you take us here, here, and here? And so we started working out our own different excursions. Okay, so not the stuff that was going through Hyatt, but the stuff that we were just going through him. It's cheaper that way because Hyatt does take a little percentage. So they took a percentage on the first one because we went through them. But after that, we're just dealing directly with this company. And so we were going everywhere. He was taking us all over the country, which was nice. And the beauty of having someone, just that person taking you, is you get a private tour, and you don't have to worry about other people. You don't have to worry about waiting for people, or the fact that, let's say you go to a place and you want to spend more time there, you can spend as much time as you want. So that was good. We were doing 10-hour days, 10, 12-hour days every day out. We were out, going to all these different places. And like I said, things are spread out. So we were driving to get to the beach. I want to say it was like 3 hours to get there. And so we would do that. Yeah. So things aren't just like all centrally located. All right. So let's see. Is there any other stuff on here that's worth mentioning? All right. Let's back out of this real quick. And I do want to go to a bird's eye view just so you can see what else is in that area where we stayed. Okay. Let's see. So one of the real nice things about, and they're saying high place right now is $153. Ooh, that's pretty expensive. Like I said, things aren't that cheap when it comes down to Costa Rica. So like $153 is very, compared to some of the other countries that are in Central America and South America, it's very expensive for a room. Now, the beauty of this place here, like I said, the strip mall's right here, and you even have a Denny's. That's how, like I'm telling you, it's so Americanized. They have Denny's there. I can't think of ever seeing a Denny's in any other country out in South America when I was there. Now, another one of the beauties of being here is right across the way is your neighborhood Walmart. And where is Walmart? It's here somewhere. I know it is. We went there several times. Oh, here it is on this side. Okay, so you have a Walmart. Full-on Walmart right there, right across the street. And so we'd walk to Walmart, go get all the stuff that we needed as far as snacks and all that good stuff. So, yeah, that's right there. So you have the strip mall here. You have Walmart there. Now, like I said, everything is kind of spread out. So you're going to be driving around different places. You can see this is pretty much just a neighborhood all around this area. And so there's your Papa John's right there. So you have to drive to get to the different locations. But there's some beautiful landscapes there. Okay. Now, just so you guys know, I can't see the chat right now. So if you guys have questions or anything, just put it in the chat and I will come back and go through all those questions. But I can't see it right now. I only have one screen working. So, all right. Now let's look at Viator real quick. And I just want to show you guys, now when it comes to Viator, this is a great site to go to if you are interested in doing excursions. Now, you don't have to purchase your excursions with Viator, but it gives you a good idea of how much it will cost for the different excursions. And then my advice is once you get there, then you haggle your price. So you get down there and you say, okay, I want to do this excursion. And you know already in your head kind of what they're asking online for it. So then you undercut it and see if you can get it that way. And let's say they say, oh, no, it's more expensive, then get back on Viator, and then you can book it through Viator and go that route. But, yeah, they have some nice stuff. So here's Arenal Volcano. We were able to go there. We couldn't go up to the volcano because it was active at the time. So we couldn't get that close. But I had a drone, so I did fly my drone out closer, but I still didn't want to get close. But yeah, very nice. You want to go to Arenal Volcano. It's a real nice landscape there. Let's see. Now they're saying $156, and that's per person. So another good thing about trying to get someone that can just take you, whether it be a taxi, Uber, or you have like a guy that they do that for a living. They're travel tour guides or whatever. The good thing about that is you're not paying per person. Usually you're just paying for the ride. And so this $156, that's per person, and you're going to be with a group. So you can get it a lot cheaper. Just for example, we were paying about $100 a day for the guy that was taking us around. $100 a day, and we were out for 10 to 12 hours. It was just us. So you can see that the price goes way down. Now, the first excursion that we booked, we paid, I shouldn't say, we were paying between $100 and $150. We weren't paying $100 every day, depending on where we were going. There were some areas that were really far away. But God, I just lost my train of thought. Anyway, so we're paying between $100 and $150 to go wherever we wanted. So that worked out well for us. But it was for both of us. It wasn't per person. So when you do the excursions, a lot of them are per person. So you don't want to get in that per person price. Oh yeah, the first trip that we booked did cost a little bit more, and it cost a little bit more because Hyatt was taking a piece of it. But after that, once we arranged things with the company or with the guy, and it was directly through the company, then we didn't have to pay Hyatt anything. Okay, so you have, let's see, let's go through it. We didn't do the water rafting. We were planning on doing that, but we kind of ran out of time. And zip lining, we went to where they do the zip lining, but I'm not getting on a zip line, so that wasn't going to happen. But you get an idea of the prices, right? So $160. They have zip lining pretty much throughout Costa Rica. So we didn't do the Arnold volcano one. We went somewhere else. I can't remember exactly where it was, but we did that. Or we didn't do the zip line, but we went to the area. So Costa Rica, we did this. Did we do this volcano or this? No, we didn't do this waterfall. Let's see if I can find that other waterfall. But there's just so much stuff there to do. I mean, it when it comes to outdoor stuff, it's all there. We went and we walked and saw the wildlife and the birds and the sloth and all that good stuff. The monkeys, we did all that, and really good experience. We went to some of the churches. We went to some of the small towns, like Martin, our driver, took us to where he lives and showed us his town, which is you probably wouldn't go there on a regular excursion, but he went and took us there and showed us his town, and so there's a lot. And then the beaches are beautiful. They have some really nice beaches in Costa Rica. So let's see. Just kind of scroll down a little bit. See if there's anything that I am missing. Yeah, I can't remember the name of that waterfall. But you see the prices for excursions. They're not cheap. Okay, so just plan for that. And I know you go on a trip, and this is where we went, La Fortuna. This is the waterfall we went to. So $85. And just look at this beautiful beach here. This Treasure Island expedition. They have some really nice beaches there. Okay, so let's just scroll through. And I think that's pretty much it. Get on Viator. If you are going to Costa Rica, get on Viator, see what they have to offer. And you're going to have a good time there. And they have these frogs. They have these, the frogs are, we went to, is this the one we went to? No, we didn't do the safari. But yeah, they have these frogs that are, I can't remember the name of the frogs, but they're unique to Costa Rica. And they're all over. They're everywhere. So you get to see these frogs. So we were out there looking for these little frogs to take pictures of. I got a couple of pictures, but not too many. Let's see. But, like I said, I got the pictures, but we know what happened to those pictures. They're gone. All right. So any questions about Costa Rica, put in the chat. I'll try to help you out if I can. But there are so many things to do out in Costa Rica. So it's definitely a good destination to go to. But just realize the prices aren't going to be as cheap as you might think. Like when I first went to Costa Rica, I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be like Colombia, because I'd been to Colombia already. But no, it's nothing like Colombia. It's more like Panama. Panama's a little more expensive as well. And when I say expensive, it's not as much as the U.S., but it's still more than some of the countries that I've been to in Central America and South America. All right, so I think we went through everything. Now let me know if you guys have any questions about any of that, and we'll talk a little bit about it. If you guys have questions about other stuff, just post in the chat, and we'll talk about that as well. If you're in here, please hit the like button if you haven't done so already, so we can get more people in here. And then we're also going to talk too about the live stream. Okay, so I've been doing 3 days. We're going to talk about it. I kind of want to figure out a better setup as far as when to go on and how many days to do. Really, I think 3 days is overkill for what we're doing right now, but I wanted to get out there and kind of see what days work best. And I guess since so we can talk about that right now, and then we'll go into the chat and we'll answer some of those questions. And okay, so as far as the live stream, you guys need to let me know what you think. But I'm definitely going to do Saturday. I'm not going to change Saturday. What I will change is probably Sunday, where we won't do one on Sunday. We'll make it kind of the wild card day. So when I say wild card, I mean I could come on for just if there's stuff in the news, something going on, I can come on and do a live stream on Sunday. But definitely keep the Saturday. The Saturday is probably the most the busiest one that I have, and then keep the Monday as well. Now I'm going to change the Monday. Obviously, you see today we're not talking about Colombia, so I'm going to change the Monday to just talking about different destinations. I'll start with the destinations that I've been to and kind of go over those and talk a little bit about my experience in those destinations. Not necessarily the whole country, but I might break the country up. Okay, so if I am talking about Colombia, I can talk about Cartagena one day. I can talk about Medellin one day. I can talk about Barranquilla one day. I can talk about Bogota another day. And then Costa Rica. Costa Rica is pretty small, so that's why I just pretty much went over the whole thing because it's a small country. You'll get what I'm saying. If you go there, you'll realize how small it is. But then other places, like I can talk about Paris on one day. So that's kind of the what we're going to do. Now, my goal when it comes to Monday is not just to talk about different destinations, but to talk about affordable destinations. And I think I really want to focus on that more. Sure, there are a lot of places where you can go. You can go to Paris, yes, but Paris is pretty expensive. So how about budget travel, affordable travel, places where you can go that are not that expensive, as far as not that expensive to get there, as well as not that expensive to the cost of everything. It's not that expensive. So you can have a really good trip, especially if you're going with with your family. You can have a really good time, enjoy yourself, and not spend a lot of money. And those are the type of trips that I really enjoy because I'm going to another country and everything's on discount. Like everything's 70% off. That's the way I look at it. I think someone said this on in our WhatsApp group. Is like, yeah, the good thing about going to Colombia is everything is 70% off, and you're getting the same stuff, right? So that's what I like, and it just makes it more interesting if I can go and find these different hidden gems that are really reasonable. So it might not be a place that I've gone to before, but a place that I'm interested in going to, and then we can talk about that as well. Some of the different countries, and we kind of talked about it already a couple weeks ago in a live stream. Some people were throwing out some different destinations that I hadn't been to, like Vietnam or some of these other different destinations where it's very affordable. Everything is very affordable out there. So the price of the ticket getting there might be a little more expensive if you're going to a country in Asia, but once you're there, like Thailand, once you're there, things are really reasonable. So that's what I want to do. So that's kind of how I want to gear everything. Now, on the Saturday show, what I'm thinking about doing is doing the show at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that will, I know 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time kind of puts people in a bind. Now you're on the East Coast, you're at 10 o'clock. So since it's Saturday and most people aren't working, doing a 4 p.m. would probably work out better. So that's kind of where I'm focused on doing the show at 4 p.m. on Saturday. And then on Monday, keep it at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and just going that route. So I'd like to know what you guys think. You can post in the chat here. You can talk about it in the Facebook group, which I haven't mentioned yet, our Facebook group. We do have a Facebook group, so please consider joining our Facebook group. And we just talk about travel there. So we talk about travel. Also, if you have different ideas for shows, streams, or just videos that you want to see, like comparisons, credit card comparisons, travel experience like comparisons, nightclubs, all that good stuff. If you wanna, if you're interested in that, then you can put it in the Facebook group. I'm trying to pull it up right now. That's why I'm a little distracted. But you can pull it up, or you can put it in the Facebook group, and we can talk about it, and then maybe I can make a show about it. It just works out better for me because if you guys put it in the chat, honestly, I forget about it because it's in the chat, and it's a little harder for me to kind of navigate through that. But as the Facebook group, I can look on there and say, oh, okay, yeah, and I can jot it down. Plus, the Facebook group will be I mean, it's 24 hours, right? So you can get on there at any time, pull up information, ask questions, all that good stuff. Whereas when we do the live stream, it's only when the live stream is live. Or you can, I mean, you can post it in the comments after the fact, but you'll probably get a much quicker response if you go on the Facebook group. All right, let me pull this up. Let's see. I'm just going to pull up the link for you guys. So just jump on over there and join in, and we'll accept you probably right away. So I won't be able to do it right now because I'm doing the stream, but I have a few administrators in here that can accept you in, so you can join the party. Okay, let's put that over here. All right. So I hope everyone had a nice Easter. Happy Easter. I did spend it with family, so it was good. But yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about. Saturday and Monday, and then on Sunday, if things happen, things come up, or maybe I couldn't do the show on Saturday for whatever reason, then I can jump on Sunday and do a show. But I want to kind of break it up just a little bit. I think I'm doing a little too much. And the reason for that is I want larger groups on each night as opposed to having, 3 nights. So you'll have maybe 20 people on one night, 15 people on another night, and then 15 people on another night or something like that. I'd rather have like a larger group on one night, then there's a break, and then another larger group on another night. It just helps out. It's just the more people, the better, and we can help each other out. All right, so let's see what else we have what we have in the chat here. Okay. All right, everybody's saying what's up. That guy, did you start your podcast? So you're doing a podcast, that guy? I didn't know that. Let's see. Setting up my set. Got my mixer. Tomorrow, capture card. Okay, all right. Let us know how that turns out, that guy, because I would like to join in and listen to you. So it's going to be like an official podcast, or is it going to be like podcast but on video? You said you're setting up a set, so I would imagine you're going to be on video as well. Okay. What's going on, Tampa? After Cuba Dave, I have concerns about going to Costa Rica. Okay, so, and I don't know exactly what, and he's talking about Cuba Dave, that whole situation. I don't know all the specifics when it comes to that. You guys can check that out. But I think he was in jail for like 2 years or something like that. So like I said, I don't know all the specifics. I'm not getting into any of that. I found that the country was very like warm, very friendly to Americans. And one thing there's a few things that I learned about about Costa Rica that I didn't know. One is that they don't have a military. So they rely on the U.S. Military, which I thought was interesting. They don't have any military of their own. And then like the president at that time, it's just like he lived with the people. Like they don't have a White House. So when you become president, you don't live in a White House or anything. Like he lived in his same house and all that. So I thought that was interesting as well. I don't know. Just coming from the U.S., everything seems like it's just so big, right? And you're the president, so you are in, you're protected in that matter where you have the White House and all that. But no, we drove by the president's house when we were there, and it was a condo. It was like a townhome, like a connected buildings. So yeah, so I learned some stuff when I was there. Very beautiful country though. And like I said, when it comes to that Cuba Dave thing, I would do your own research, look in there, and find all that information out. I don't deal with that type of activity, so when I go to other countries, so I don't, that doesn't bother. I'm not in fear of that kind of that happening. But yeah, look into that. All right. But my experience, very friendly. Everyone was very friendly, and I didn't have any issues with anything. I didn't have any issues with anyone there. Okay. Let's Let's see. Let's just go over some of the questions here. If you guys have a question specifically for me, just put TEC or at TEC, and I'll answer the question for you. Okay. And if you guys get a chance, check out my little travel trailer video that I put out. I just put it out a couple of days ago. And just let me know what you think. I wanted to do a trailer because I had one up already, but it was an old one, like really old. And so I've been wanting to update it, and I just haven't had the time to do it. So I finally found some time. So I jumped in there and did some edits and all that good stuff. And I did have a question from someone. Who was it? I believe it was Lionel. He was just asking me about the what airline that was in the beginning. That was British Airways. That was their 747 back. I don't think they fly the 747s anymore. At least British Airways. But it was an experience. That was the best airline experience or flight I've ever had, as far as the experience is concerned. I was flying first class. I was coming from Paris. So first went to London and had a layover in London, so I was able to go to their first class lounge, and that lounge was the nicest place I've ever, nicest lounge I've ever been to. It was probably the size of, let's say, a regular size lounge. It was probably about 4 or 5 of those, and they had it. It was crazy because they had all these different rooms. So just picture you go into a lounge, you have that room, and then you go into another lounge, you have that room, and then you go to another. That's the way it was set up. So you had all these different rooms, and each room had kind of a purpose, right? So you had the room that you can go in, and it had all the computers and some phones and all this other stuff that was in there. So that was a room, but it was a large, a real large room. And then you had an area where you can take showers and all that good stuff. Then you had another area, it was more of just kind of a lounge area where you can just hang out. It was by where they had all the alcohol, and so you can kind of lounge there with the alcohol. They didn't have, actually, it wasn't all the alcohol. They had more of the hard liquor, and then they had a lot of the different drinks and stuff in this other room. So that was another area to hang out. And then they had kind of an area where all they had was wine, and so it was just, they had their wine stacked up. I don't know much about wine, but they had the wine all stacked up, and you can go in there and get wine. Then they had another little section where it was kind of more of the sports section where you can go in and watch. They had all the TVs were sports related stuff on the TVs, and you had TVs everywhere. But in this particular place, it was sports. And so you can go there and kind of hang out. Then they had a coffee station where you can go get coffee and cookies and all that good stuff. Then they had an area where it was just buffet style food. So you can go in there and get buffet style food. And then they had a restaurant. So you can go in the restaurant. If you didn't find anything you wanted, you can go into the restaurant and get whatever you wanted in there. So they had the menu, and you can choose off the menu whatever you wanted. Excellent experience. That lounge was the nicest lounge. It was in London, so the nicest lounge I've ever been to, the British Airways lounge in there. And then they had, and then once I got on the plane, it was amazing. And you had the two jetways, so you don't go on the same jetway as everyone else. You go on the first class jetway because you're underneath the pilots. So you're at the nose of the plane. I think there's only 12. I think it was 12 seats up there, and you're in the nose of the plane. So you get in there, and you're right there. Yeah, it was an amazing experience, and it was a 10-hour flight, and I wanted it to be longer. That's how good it was. The food was excellent, and in the little trailer I show you the food. So yeah, it was good. It was really good. The funny thing is, I didn't do this was before I really knew what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing when it comes to doing reviews of airplanes. I don't know, it's difficult. First off, it's too noisy. So you have to have a lav mic or something hooked in. You can't just talk, because if you're talking, people aren't really going to be able to hear what you're saying. It's just too much noise. So I wasn't prepared for that, and I didn't have all that stuff. So I tried to do the best that I could with what I had. but I didn't really get any footage that I can really. I have footage so I can talk over it, and that's what I might end up doing because I still want to do kind of a review of it, but I can't really. I didn't have any footage it didn't sound good. Like I'm trying to talk and stuff like that, but you couldn't hear me. So just things that you learn when you start doing these little reviews and things. Okay, so but anyway, yeah, excellent experience. And then I just went through the different places that I've gone in the last couple of years. So it was Thailand, Colombia, Costa Rica, Aruba, and a few other places, Paris, a few other places that I've gone to. All right, so let's see what else is in the chat here. At Courtyard Marriott here. Nice place. Where? Courtyard Marriott, where, Rolo? What's going on? Pariah, what's going on? Let's see. Okay. So Pariah is asking about Panama. He heard it was cheap also. I have not been to Panama. I've only gone to the airport there. Like I've been in a layover. I've never gone to the actual country. One thing is they use the U.S. currency, so that's good. You don't have to change your money over or anything like that. But from what I'm hearing, it's getting more and more expensive. So compared to some of the other countries in the area, it's not that reasonable. It's not one of the more affordable places. But it's another place that's very Americanized. They have a lot of American American stuff there, restaurants and good stuff like that. But from what I'm hearing, it's not that cheap to stay there. And I will go at one point, and I'll probably do maybe a couple of days there, like do a layover, or a stopover. Let's say I'm using United, I can do a stopover. So do a stopover for a couple of days, and then on to the next spot, probably Colombia. But there's not much from the research that I've done. There's not much there. I mean, the Panama Canal, everyone wants to go to that just to say that they've seen it. But other than that, I didn't really see too much in Panama that really piqued my interest. So I do want to go just to say that I've been to Panama and kind of experience it. But I don't think there's that much there. As far as photography, there's not much there. So we'll go there and see. But yeah, be aware it's not that cheap. Just like Costa Rica is not that cheap. It just isn't. I heard Costa Rica is a melting pot of honeys from lots of Central South American countries. Is that true? In my experience, you do have, and that's in Panama as well. You do have like a lot of women from Colombia that'll go there. We were so busy in Costa Rica. We were there 6 days. We went to a couple clubs, but that was it. And that, I mean, because we were out, like I'm saying, we were 10-hour, 12-hour days. By the time we got back, we were ready to get something to eat and go to sleep. So we were doing a lot of driving, more driving than actually being in wherever we were going. So we would drive for 3 hours. That's 3 hours up, and then hang out for an hour or two, and then drive 3 hours back. So that was kind of our routine. So we were trying to make sure we covered the whole country and took pictures around the whole country. So we didn't really do the nightlife that much, but yeah, I guess I can't really give you. I did. If I remember correctly, we did meet some people from a few other countries like Costa Rica, or not Costa Rica, like Colombia. But for the most part, we didn't really experience that nightlife too much. And we waited. It was like, I think it was on the last night, the last couple of nights that we went to a couple of the clubs. Okay. Cheap Travelers here. Never did David. Let's see. Let's keep moving down. All right. Okay, David, I bought a camera in London and Sunday morning, 30%. Okay. All right, so you guys are talking back and forth here. If you guys have questions specifically for me, just let me know. TEC or at, you don't have to put at Travel Explore Click, but just put at TEC. Okay. Okay, so Braveheart saying yes, budget travel. How about Japan, Tokyo, expensive? Question mark. I believe they are very expensive. Those areas. But like I said, well, I want to try to find the most affordable. But this is my thing. So when it comes to affordable, there are a lot of different places you can go that are very affordable, right? But they're not countries that most people would want to go to, or there might be countries that are having some hard times. So going there just isn't safe, or it's not even realistic. Like, yeah, it's cheap here, or it's affordable here, but it's not something that people are really interested in. So what I'm looking at is I want to find countries that are like the hidden gems, and Colombia to me is a hidden gem. Thailand is not a hidden gem because everyone knows about Thailand and everyone goes there, but it's still a good place to go. It's very affordable. So I want to find countries like that and then do kind of a day, a live stream on that country. Even if I've never been there before, we can kind of just go over some of the things that I see the potential in that country, and in the future I'll probably go there and then do some videos while I'm actually there. But just, yeah, I think there are a lot of different places in the world that are very affordable, but people don't really know about it or even think about it. Think about traveling there. And one of my buddies turned me on to Colombia. Like, it wasn't even in my radar. That was probably one of the last places I would think of going, because at the time, you want to go to Brazil, or you want to go to some of these other more popular countries or more well-traveled countries, and you don't think of some of these little countries here and there. And so that's what I kind of want to do, just expose people to some of these countries that are good places to go, very affordable, and just a good place to overall, a good place to be. But they have to have the amenities and things that make it a comfortable, nice vacation. And I mean, there's certain countries that are very reasonable. Like Cuba is a good example. Although I think they've changed the restrictions on Cuba now, where in the Obama administration, they changed it to where you can go there. Now they've changed it back to where I don't think you can go there anymore. Not a direct flight. But with Cuba, they're still having some struggles with the internet and all that good stuff. So you'll get there, and with the ATMs, and so you have to bring like a lot of cash. So you get there, but things they're not going to be comfortable. So I want to find places that are comfortable to vacation in, and it's affordable. So that's kind of the focus, or that's my focus. And let me know what you guys think too. Let's see. Okay, so I did put the Facebook group, the link there. So check that out. Just go to the Facebook group. We're building up. I mean, we keep getting more and more people in there, which is great. And questions, anything you guys have, you guys can post it in there. If you guys find good deals, post it in the Facebook group. And I'm going to start doing more of that, like airline deals and stuff like that. When I find them, I'll just post them in the Facebook group so you guys can check them out. If it might be a destination that you're interested in going to, and you say, "Oh, guess what? It's available. It's reasonable." Just like Costa Rica. I mean, that flight, I never would have gone to. What was that airline that I was looking at? And now I would do my research on the airline, of course, but I mean, you have to understand these airlines have to meet certain qualifications and all that good stuff. So if they're flying, they should be they should be good, right? Yeah, they should be good. Now, read the fine print, find out everything that's going on with the airline. This Volaris Costa Rica, that's the airline that I was looking at here, and I've never flown with them. It looks like they're flying. Let's see. I'd have to do more research, but it looks like they're coming from San Jose, or I don't know what I was looking at here. Los Angeles to San Jose. Yeah, but they're flying out at I think the flight was like at 1 a.m. So you're flying out early in the morning. and then you're getting there in the morning, which is good. 9 a.m. in the morning. $294. So $294. Really good deal. That's a real good deal. But read the fine print, find out if they're charging you just for a regular bag and all that good stuff, because it could be like Spirit Airline where they're going to charge you for everything, and it might end up being better just to pay the $450 or $500 and fly with Delta or what have you, where you at least know what to expect. Okay. So David saying he went to Japan, was the same cost as Europe. Okay, so that's pretty expensive. Our pool, what's going on? TEC, any opinion on life miles? Opinion as in what? You gotta be a little more specific. I'm sorry. If you have like a specific, like something specific about life miles, then yeah, let me know. But or ask me that question. Okay, excuse me. Good to know, David. Food in Europe is about the same prices in the U.S. So that's what Rolo's saying, that food in Europe is about the same price. Yeah, and it is. And in some cases, it's more because they will charge you the, like a good example, and I've given this example before. I live near Disneyland, and food near Disneyland is much more expensive than food not near Disneyland, if you get what I'm saying. So there are a lot of places where I won't go because that's near Disneyland, because I know the prices are going to be hiked up because of the tourists, and you have tourists out there, they're going to charge them more. So it's the same thing. Like in some of these countries, you'll go there and the prices will be even more than in the U.S. and not all over the country, but in certain areas. So I personally like, and that's one of the reasons I like going to South America. I like going to Central America because you can go and have a really nice time and stay in some really nice areas, resorts, have nice beaches, all that good stuff, and you're paying 70% off. So a good example is going to Hawaii. I love going to Hawaii, but Hawaii gets pretty expensive. And so I can find some of those same beaches, the same beautiful beaches that you have in Hawaii. I can find some of those same beaches and some that are even more beautiful. And for the main fact that they're deserted, like there are not very many people there. When we were in Aruba, we went to some islands. There was no one there. Like you go to the island and it's just deserted. But I said island. You go to the beach and it's just deserted, and it's just it's beautiful. Like very picturesque places where you want to do landscape photos and things like that. So that's what I'm looking for, reasonable. Now, Aruba is not one of those reasonable places. Aruba was pretty much, it was almost the same as the U.S. as far as the cost of everything. So unless you went to the other side of the island where most of the locals live, if you go to the other side of the island, things were a little bit cheaper. But if you are in the area where all the big hotels are and everything like that, you're pretty much paying the same price. I believe I was paying for that was in Thailand. Actually, in Thailand, when I stayed at one of the resorts, I was staying at Hyatt Regency. That breakfast wasn't cheap. It wasn't. I mean, I want to say it was at least $15, $16. It was a buffet though, which realistically, you go to a hotel in the U.S. now and you get a buffet, and it's probably going to cost more than that. I know in Hawaii it was like $27 for breakfast buffet. Okay, let's move on here. Okay, I have 2 bars at my house, one outside, one inside. I would love the lounge. Okay, I don't know what your question is, Braveheart. If that is a question or just a statement. Okay, let's move on here. So Rolo's saying Toronto. Yeah, Toronto. I would look into that. I don't know anything about anything about Toronto. I don't really have a desire to go there though. I'm not big on the cold. So if it's cold, I don't know if Toronto is cold, but if it is, and there's snow and all that good stuff, yeah, I'm not really into that. um, but yeah, that's something that I would look into. But what I'll do is in the live streams when I start out, I'm just going to do the countries that I've gone to, and then we can work into some of the other countries. That way, we'll I can give you my personal experience, and then hopefully other people have gone to different places and say, hey, you know what, this is a good place. This is why, and then I can kind of piggyback off that and give you the information that I've been told. Let's see, TEC. I'll take some video footage for you. So where are you going? Braveheart. Are you going to Toronto? Are you going to Costa Rica? Where are you going? Let's see. Let's go to Jamaica. You know what? I do want to go to Jamaica, but Jamaica to me, it's more of one of those places you go and you just stay at the resort. You don't really get around. And I like to go to countries where I'm kind of free to go, kind of explore the country. I'm not really big on doing the whole resort. Like I have a buddy that just loves to go and do the all inclusive resorts, and I want to kind of experience the country. And you do the all inclusive resorts. When we were in Aruba, part of our trip we did an all inclusive resort, and then we went to another hotel after that. And the all inclusive part, it was just all Americans there, and you don't really feel like you're just staying at that resort. You're eating there, you're doing everything there, so you're not really seeing the country. So with Jamaica, from what I hear, and I haven't been there, but from what I hear, you pretty much do the kind of the resort thing as well. So I want to be able to kind of get out and just explore, and not on my own, but just kind of explore the different parts of the country. And I feel there's certain countries you can do that. It's not a problem. Like Costa Rica is one. You can explore Costa Rica. You can go pretty much wherever you want to go. You can even rent a car if you want. That's a place where I would feel a little safer about renting a car. But you can explore on your own or with your buddies, or have a guide taking you. Same way as Colombia, you can explore. You can go and drive all around wherever you want to go. Aruba, the same thing. We rented a car in Aruba, and we were just driving all over. We even rented a Jeep, and just taking. I've never been in a Jeep before. Like I have a Cherokee, but a Jeep Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, but I don't. I've never gone like the Jeeps, like the Wrangler or whatever. I've never taken one of those, and we took that thing out. And they tell you there's certain parts of in Aruba, there's certain parts of the island where you have to have a 4-wheel drive vehicle. You can't. They won't allow you to. Well, I won't say they won't allow you, but you're told that you can't go in certain areas, and you shouldn't, because my buddy did, and on this last trip, not this trip that we were on, but he got stuck in the sand, and so then he had to call a tow truck to get him out, and so he had to pay for all that. So we got a Jeep and took that Jeep out, and Jeeps are amazing, like what they can do, the terrain and all that stuff they can go through. Like there were some places where I'm like, there's no way we're gonna get up this little hill, and we were able to just take the Jeep, and it would take us all the way up there. So it was pretty amazing what Jeeps can do. But I'd never experienced that before. So let's see, what else do we have? TEC, we can go around. I'll show you around. Oh, you'll fly me over the island. All right, Braveheart. You keep wanting to get me on this plane. I don't know, man. I don't know. Once you have some airtime, then we'll see. Show some video, some airtime, or show some video of it first, and then maybe. Rolo, I want a one-way to Chile. Chile is another place that I'm interested. Bolivia, I haven't really looked into Bolivia, but definitely Chile. That sounds like a nice place to go, and that's a place I'll be looking at. So Brazil, Chile, yeah, those are definitely two places I would be interested in going to. All right. Okay. Any other questions you guys have? Please post in the chat now. And what do you guys think? Just let me know. I didn't see too many responses, but let me know about how you guys feel about just doing Saturday and Monday, doing live streams on those 2 days, and then doing on Saturday, doing it at 4 p.m., and then Monday, doing the regular 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I just kind of want to open it up to you guys to see what you feel about it. I'm pretty much kind of set on what I think will work. But if you guys have different ideas, maybe I can consider that as well. But I definitely want Saturday to stay with the travel credit cards and just affordable travel, or not affordable, but trying to work out getting points and getting good deals. And then on Monday, work on affordable places to go. So make it all about affordable travel. That's pretty much what I want to do the live streams about. And then when I do the regular videos, I'll do the regular videos, continue to do the regular videos. I put out, what was the last one? I put out one just street food in Colombia. Now, understand, guys, I have a bunch of video right now, and I think someone mentioned, I can't remember who it was, but they mentioned something about another Colombia video. I just went to Colombia. I shot tons of video. I have probably like 18 videos that are still that I've shot that I need to edit and put them all together. So you are going to see more and more Colombia videos, okay? Maybe you might learn something. Maybe it might put you in a place where you think, oh, you know what? I want to go there. I want to go there now. I see it. It's really nice or whatever. But I have a lot of those videos. And what I like to do when I travel, wherever I go, I like to shoot a lot of video. And then once I come back to the U.S. and I can edit the videos and then kind of drop them every week or what have you. So I'm not going to just keep dropping all, I'm not going to drop them. Well, there are going to be in a row, but I might try to, mix them up with some other travel credit card stuff and then drop another Colombia video, travel credit card stuff, then another video. So kind of do it like that, kind of split it up. But yeah, be aware I do have more stuff on Colombia, and most of it's pretty interesting. If it's not interesting, I have 18 videos, like I'm saying, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to put them all out there, because some of them might just not work for whatever reason. So if it doesn't work, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere, like if I can't really work it the way that I want to as far as the edit, then I won't even show it. Okay, HD chillin', what's going on, buddy? Paraguay is beautiful from what I hear. That's another place I'd look into too. I like South America. I don't know why. I just do. And so, well, the women are beautiful. I know that. But I will look into Paraguay as well. Let's see. TEC. Okay. All right, David. I'll take that. Let's see. So basically, T saying the more streams you do, the only problem with streams, is this: because they're long, and I know how I get when I see a stream. Like if it's a live stream, if it's about an hour, I can play it in the background. I'm good. But I've been doing streams like 2 or 3 hours, so I've been doing streams of too long. Okay, so I need to kind of cut those down a little bit. And the more streams, it might mean, you might think it means more subs, but you also have to look at the whole algorithm system too. And this is what I'm really learning now, because I started I'm telling you right now, if you're going to start a channel, algorithms, that's what you need to focus on. Not what content you want to put out, but, well, I shouldn't say that. Have an idea of what you want, right? And I'm going to give you my whole YouTube spill real quick, but have an idea of what you want. So whatever skill set you have, if it's travel, if it's editing video, if it's whatever it is, taking pictures, whatever your skill set is, have that in mind. Okay, this is what I want to do. But the first thing you need to do is find out what people are searching for. So find out what people are interested in watching, and then cater whatever your skill set is around that, and then put those videos out. Because what I did is I did it the other way around. I did it backwards. So I just start putting out videos. Just, oh, you know what? I think people would be interested in this. Put a video out. Oh, I think people would be interested in this. Put a video out. But the only problem is there might be a bunch of videos already out there where my video is not going to rank high at all because there's so many other videos out there. And then, or it's just not something that people want to see. I might think people are interested. Like, let's say Colombia, for example. You might think, oh, people will be interested in Colombia, but if people aren't interested and they're not searching for it, I can do all I want, have all these videos, put all these videos out, and guess what? No one's going to watch them. And so you're not going to get that. You're not going to get you're not going to get the views. You're not going to get the subs. You're not going to get all that good stuff. So the first thing is to work on the algorithm. Now, when I do live streams, since they're longer, I generally don't have a high view count. And because I don't have a high view count, the algorithm sees that as, okay, people aren't really interested in this video or in this video. So you kind of have to look at that too. So it kind of hurts me when I put out a video that it's a shorter video that maybe people would really be interested in, because YouTube is looking at my whole channel and they're saying, okay, you're a travel channel. You put out a video. It's an hour long. People watch it for 20 minutes. And that's still good because I'm at least holding them for 20 minutes. But I can put out another video that is a shorter video that people watch the whole thing. And YouTube likes that more because it's like, okay, they like the fact that I watched the whole thing and then I went on to another video and I watched that whole video. And then, so it gets a little tricky when it comes to live streams. You want to make sure that you do have an audience and that you're able to keep that audience for a period of time, and that you're able to get the view count. So I like coming on and doing the live streams, not because I'm trying to get more subs. It's more just so I can communicate with you guys. I can talk with you guys back and forth, and it's just a place to kind of chat about things. And then when I put out the other videos, those are the videos where I'm really trying to get the subs, and that's like the trailer that I put out. I'm trying to get subs. That's where I'm trying to get all my subscribers. And then once I get the subscribers, then they come back and they watch the live stream, if that makes sense. So the live stream is really not that's not where I'm focused on getting subs. So that's just how I'm doing things. Now, I get a much better response when I just put out regular videos. And when I say response, I get a lot more views than a live stream. Plus, when you put out the regular videos, I'm able to edit them the way that I want to, put music, all that good stuff. Whereas the live stream is just more kind of what you see here. All right, Rolo, just purchased a GoPro 7 Black. It was that or the Osmo Pocket. Oh, you should have got the Osmo Pocket. No, I'm just kidding. The Osmo Pocket seemed fragile to use. So Rolo, did you hold them both? I would admit, okay, so this is what I tell people. It depends on what you want. Like those two cameras are probably the most popular right now for, I would say for travel. Like as far as just something that's easy to use, those are probably the most popular right now. But they do two different things. Now, the GoPro 7, GoPros are good for action stuff. So if you want to mount it to something and let's say you have a ATV or something like that, you want to mount it to that and you're riding it along, and that's perfect. You're on a bike, you're riding along, that's perfect. Now, the Osmo Pocket is good for all the other things. So let's say I'm going to a city. Let's say I'm traveling and I'm going to a city and I just want to walk down the city and hold the camera just to kind of get footage of the city, of the streets. Osmo Pocket is perfect for that. If you're indoors, low light, Osmo Pocket's better than the GoPro Hero for that. Now, when I say it's better in low light, but it's still not going to give you the quality that you'll get with a regular camera. But it is better. All right. So that's just kind of my 2 cents when it comes to those cameras. And I have the Osmo Pocket. I've had GoPros in the past. I have like a little Sony action cam that I use too. And I like the Osmo Pocket. I really like it. Now, if I'm doing some action stuff, I'll use my little Sony action camera. But any other, like if I'm walking around and stuff like that, I'm using that Osmo Pocket because the quality is just, it's amazing. And when I say quality, I'm not just talking about the video quality. I'm talking about the GoPro does have the digital image stabilization, which works pretty good, but nothing beats having a gimbal. And it's pretty robust. It's not as fragile as you might think. There were a few things that I was thinking about when I got it, as far as the gimbal itself. One thing that it will do, like let's say you turn it on, and this was bothering me, or let's say it's in my pocket and it turns on, the gimbal will try to set itself, like try to balance. But if it can't, if it like bumps up against something or moves up against any resistance, it's just going to shut down. So it's not gonna burn the motor. It's not gonna ruin the motor. And so that's one thing that I was concerned about. And I've had it hit, like when I was out at the Carnaval, I was just holding it. I was holding it down on the side of the rail, and people were walking by, like the crowd, the people in the parade, and it was a large crowd of people, and I wanted to kind of get that, all the people there. And someone walked up, boom, hit my camera, and it just, when you hit it, it will just shut down, so it doesn't destroy anything, the motor or anything. So it's not as fragile as you might think. And I have it now. You can buy the little things that you can put it in, little different cases and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty robust. If it fell, it's probably going to be okay. But yeah, I really like it. It's not going to be as robust as a GoPro 7. No, it's definitely not. But GoPro 7s are for action. This is for just walking around, getting really good footage. Braveheart, 7 p.m. is good for me. Braveheart, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard or East Coast time? Rolo, HD chillin'. I heard the same. Okay. Renee, what's going on? Are Colombian women friendly? Yes, they are. They're my experience. So this is my experience. They're very friendly, and they will stop, and that's one thing. Like, people don't seem like they're in a rush in Colombia unless they're driving. When they're driving, yeah, people are just like, no, there's no. If someone pulls up, they're trying to pull up right in front of you, and yeah, when they're driving, that's the way. But if they're walking down the street, if you ask them a question, and this goes for everyone in Colombia that I've experienced, you ask them a question, they'll take the time to talk to you. They will even show you show you where you need to go in a lot of cases. And the women, they're friendly. Like you can walk up to any woman pretty much and ask them something, and they're going to try to help you. It was funny. When we were in Parquilletes, we were in Medellin. We went to Parquilletes where they have all the clubs and everything. And we start talking to these three girls, and just small talk. And guys, we're just trying to like talk, right? I don't know, but we're asking them questions like, "Hey, where should we go?" All this good stuff. We kind of already had in mind where we were going to go, but we just wanted to talk to them. So that's kind of a way to talk to them, right? So we're talking with them, and they spent probably 10 minutes talking with us just about like where to go. It wasn't even like, it was just like where to go. Oh, you should go here. This place is nice here. This place is nice here. And, it's just small talk kind of stuff. But yeah, they're easy to approach. They're easily approachable, and they will talk with you. Especially if they know you're like from America, and they will, because most of us don't speak Spanish, and if you do speak Spanish, they can still tell, and they're intrigued by that. And if they speak English, if they speak any English, they like to use it on you. Like they like to, because they might speak English, they might have learned it in college, but they don't speak it all the time. And so when they do find someone that's an English speaker, they're kind of intrigued, and they want to talk and kind of practice their English. So yeah, I've had good experiences with Colombian women out there. Let's see what's going on, Nika. Yeah, I'm giving YouTube coaching. So Nika, I don't know where you said you sent me a message. I know you sent me the initial message. I sent you a message back. and I don't know what other message you sent me because I can't find it. So I know it was about your cover photo. Um, but send me a message again, and then we can, because I just wanted you to send me what you had, and then we could look at it. As far as the format, because I think it's just the format that's the problem there. All right, let's see. I use it for biking on the streets, and I used it today to record the streets of Toronto. It looks good to me. Yeah. Oh, so okay. Yeah, definitely. If you're using it for biking, then you're probably better off with the GoPro. But if you do want to do like kind of vlogging, or you just want to walk down the street, I would highly recommend that Osmo Pocket. And when I go, like, and I haven't been biking in a while, I need to get back on my bike. But when I go biking, I have an action camera, and I also bring my Osmo Pocket. I just put it in my little back pouch, and then I ride. And then when I want to talk, I pull that out and use it. And then just recording the road, I'm just using that little action camera, because that's what it's for. That's its purpose. Action camera is for that. Now, Osmo Pockets, you can use it, but I noticed when I used it, because of the focusing, and now you can do like a single focus where I can just have it focus on one thing and not change. So if I want to focus on just something in the front of the road when I'm riding, I can do that. But prior to that, it would just hunt. So it would just bounce off all these different, because it's hard. It can't focus on anything because I'm riding, so it doesn't know where the focal point is. So it was kind of hunting back and forth as you're driving. You kind of see it pulsating. But now they've kind of corrected that, where you can just do a single focus. So I haven't used it since then. You do have stuff like the Osmo Pocket. You have things that you can use in order to mount it on things. So I can mount it on a bike if I want to. I just haven't done that. All right, let's see. What's going on, Stan? I don't understand that. I don't understand what you asked. Okay. Please say, okay, I don't know what that is. Okay. Excuse me. Any other questions? Please post in the chat and we'll go over it. Eres colombiano. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't speak Spanish. Very little. Poquito español. Poquito. Yeah, but if you guys are in here and you have not joined our Facebook group, please do so. I'll post a link right now so you guys can check it out. But jump in the Facebook group and talk travel with us. Just join the conversation. We talk about a variety of different things. I'll also keep you posted on anything that I'm doing as far as where I'm traveling to, as well as if I'm going on live. Because like I said, right now we're going to be doing Saturday and we're skipping Sunday. I don't know if Nika was in here. She probably didn't hear this. We're skipping Sunday and then we're going to do Monday. So it's going to be Saturdays and Mondays. And on Saturday, we're going to start doing it at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So just changing things around a little bit, see how that works. I just noticed that doing the 3 in a row, it's just kind of, I'd like to have more people on Saturday and then more people on Monday if possible, than having kind of a spread out throughout the 3 days. And then I'm also going to try to do a little bit more where we're just kind of, where I fine tune a little bit better. I notice the longer I go, the less people watch, and I totally get it. If it's a 3-hour video, who wants to sit for 3 hours and listen to me? So I get that. I totally get that. And so we're going to try to kind of streamline a little bit more and get it maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours at most, but an hour and a half is kind of where I would want to be with that. So let me know what you guys think, though. I'm always open to new suggestions or anything like that. In the Facebook group, you can post whatever you want on different ideas on videos and things like that. Please post that in there. And like I said, when it comes to the chat, I love hearing this stuff, but mainly when I say like ideas, but I forget about a lot of them. And it's easier in the Facebook group because when I see it in the Facebook group, I'm already on my computer. I can just jot that down. Yep, you know what? Let me save that so I can come to it later. Ed James, what's going on? Hello. Is it worth paying another $100 for global entry if you already have paid TSA pre-check? Yes, it is. I would recommend doing it. The reason why is if you well, first off, let's get this. If you travel outside of the country, it's worth it. If you don't travel outside the country, you have TSA pre-check, then you're fine. But if you are traveling outside of the country, it's definitely worth it to get the global entry. Now, getting global entry, and there are a few different ways to get it. Like if you have travel credit cards, there are some travel credit cards that will give you that $100 credit. So you're not going to pay anything out of pocket. You're just going to use your credit card to book it or to purchase it, and then they will waive it. Okay, so you don't have to pay anything out of pocket. Now, so that's one way to do it. Then also, even if you do pay the $100, you're going to get the global entry and you'll get TSA pre-check, but you'll renew like your TSA pre-check, I guess. So you'll have it for another 5 years. So I don't know where you are when it comes to TSA pre-check, where you are like when you got it initially. But if you're leaving the country, it's recommended to get global entry because coming back into the country, that's when you're going to use it. It streamlines the process. When I came back, every time I've come back, I've never had any issues. I've always been able to just go straight to the kiosk and then go straight to the customs agent, and then I'm gone. So it's really beneficial, and it hurts. It hurts the fact that it hurts to think the fact I paid $85 for TSA pre-check, and now I have to pay another $100 in order to get the global entry, but it's worth it. It definitely is. All right. Okay. So any other questions? You guys can go ahead and post them now, and we'll see if we can go over those real quick before we go. And if you guys, let's see, anything else in here? Yeah, if you guys have any questions that let's say you're watching this, it's not live, just post in the comments. Any questions, post in the comments, and I'll get to those questions as well. But like I said, Facebook group is probably the best place for you to go to find out what's going on with the channel and what's affordable, what's not affordable, like all that gets. We're putting everything in there. So. We're talking about luggage. We're talking about what did I just put on there? Different. Another good thing too. Different YouTube channels. So there are a lot of YouTube channels out there, and I'm sure you guys have. You guys are watching me, so I'm sure you're watching other people as well. But they're good channels about travel credit cards. There's also good travel channels about different countries, and a lot of people dedicate their channel to a certain country, a certain city. So those are good to watch as well. So, and I always do that. Like if I'm going to another country, I'll look to see what YouTubers have to say about these different countries, and a lot of them spend a lot of time there. So, just like I spend a lot of time in Colombia, and I put out stuff about Colombia. You have This Is Ace Live. He's got stuff about Colombia on there. Susa, Dominican Republic. He's got stuff about the Dominican Republic. Susa. I keep saying, I don't know why I say Susa. Sasua, Dominican Republic. That channel, you go there. He's got stuff about Dominican Republic, and then he also goes other places too. He goes to Colombia and different places like that. But that's what I do when I want to travel somewhere. The first thing that I do is I get on YouTube and I look to see what's out there already, like what people have done. Because I'm also thinking, not only am I thinking I want to go there and experience it, vacation. Have a good time, but I'm also thinking video wise too. I want to go out there and I want to shoot video, and I want to put things out so I can share it with you guys, share my experience. So, all right, let's see. Rolo, well, my flight to Toronto was delayed overnight for 12 hours, and I'm booked with Chase Sapphire Preferred. Okay, so let's see. So that delay, so you're using Chase Sapphire Preferred. So you got the credit for that. Is that what you're saying? I think TC, did you see the 30% transfer bonus for Chase to British Airways? I did not. I did not see that, David. I have to look into that. Only thing about British Airways is their taxes. Taxes and fees are whatever they, the fees that they tack on. So you use your points and then they have the fees. Those fees are ridiculous. It was like $600 when I flew that first class flight. Luckily, the reason that I went ahead and went with it is I had the Chase Sapphire Reserve and I just got the $300 travel credit. And so I just said, okay, I'm going to use the travel credit and then I'll pay $300 out of pocket. But yeah, their taxes and fuel or taxes and fees, whatever they say, it's really ridiculous for that flight. But I will say, looking back on it, flying first class on like a true first class overseas, yeah, I would pay the $600 in a heartbeat now. But it is still, and that I believe when I wanted to book it just a regular economy, I think I looked at regular economy, it was still like around that same price for the taxes and fees. Okay. Oh, so Rolo saying he's going to file his claim to get a refund. Yeah, and I haven't done that yet. I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't been delayed overnight where I had to book a hotel or anything like that. So I haven't been able to use that. But I'd like to know how that works out. So let me know how it turns out, Rolo. Let us all know so I can share it with everyone. Okay. Yeah, please like the video. Please like the video. And please share it with your friends too and family members. So, all right, I think I'm going to go now. I appreciate everybody stopping by. And so this is going to kind of be the set routine that we'll do Saturdays and Mondays for right now. And we'll see how that works. And if we need to, and like on Sunday, I already said on Sunday, if there's if something comes up and it's something that I want to do a live stream about, I will jump on the live stream. So it's not, you're going to have times where you might not think, oh, okay, it might not be a time where you think it might not be a scheduled live stream time, and I'll just jump on. So make sure that little bell icon, make sure you hit the bell icon. So not only subscribe to the channel, but hit the little bell icon, and you'll get notified anytime that I go live or anytime that I put out a video, you'll get notified of all that. So you'll know exactly what's going on. Plus, if you're in the Facebook group, I'll jump in, and I didn't do it today. I should have done that. Jump in the Facebook group. Let people know, hey, I'm going live in 30 minutes or what have you, and we'll go live like that. Okay, let's see. CEC, is there a best time to go to Colombia? How far in advance should I book flights or hotel? Okay, so that's Ed asking that question. Is there a good time to go? So they have kind of their rainy season. I think in Medellin right now they just got through their rainy season, but they also have another rainy season, I think, in August. But just rainy season, it doesn't rain that long in Colombia. So like during the rainy season, you'll have days where it's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever been to Hawaii, but if you go to Hawaii, it rains like every day in certain parts of the island. Like when I'm in Kauai, it rains every day, but it's like real light rain, and it's only for maybe an hour, and then it's gone. So in Colombia, it's very similar. You'll have the rainy time where it'll only rain a little bit for the most part. But when I left, because I still have friends in Colombia, in Medellin, and in Cali, it was raining like for like almost the whole day. It would rain. So you do have that time. Now, as far as the weather overall, even when it's raining, the weather is still good. It's 60 to 80. Like that's your range in Medellin. That's kind of your range. Other parts of the country, yeah, if you're coastal, like let's say you're in Cartagena, you're in Barranquilla, you're in different areas of the country. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit. It's gonna be a little more. It's gonna be hot. Let's put it that way. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be humid. Okay, so one good thing about Medellin is Medellin pretty much year round. In the rainy season, it'll be a little cooler, so that's why I said kind of 60s. But generally, it's between 70 and 80 degrees year round. So that's kind of how it is. So it's good all year round. That's bottom line. That's what I'm trying to say, Ed. Thank you for the super chats, buddy. I appreciate that, Ed. So the the way that I look at going to Colombia now, when I first went, I was just going kind of randomly, but now I kind of like to go when there's events going on. So I went to Carnaval. There's a flower festival in August, so I'm gonna go there at that time. And then there's another festival in Cali. So I don't even know the name of that festival, but I'll be going to that one as well. So I'm going to the flower festival, and then right after the flower festival, there's another festival in Cali. So I'll be going out there. So yeah, it's a good place to go pretty much year round. But the events, that's when you really want to go, because that's where you'll see not that just going on a regular time period is you just see more people. You see the celebration, right? And so that's what I really like. Okay, Nika says he likes the channel intro. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. And eventually I will put it as it's not right now. It's not the, like you can on your channel, you can have, so when someone new comes into the channel, they see that as your first video. Once I start getting up the views, then I'll put it up there. I have another video up there right now that's doing really well, and so I just want to keep that up right now because it's bringing in a lot of subscribers. But once this video starts doing well, then I'll switch them at some point. But I needed to have an intro. I don't have an intro, kind of what my channel is about now. It's changed. It's changed over the years. So now that it's changed, I kind of want to keep it like that. Let's see. Anybody got a new credit card lately? Yeah. If anyone's got a new credit card, please post in the chat right now before we take off here. And I just hit my minimum spend on the United Explorer Plus, the business card. So hopefully I'll be getting that 75,000 points. I'll be getting that pretty soon. So I'm excited about that. I need to book my Hawaii trip, which I still haven't booked my airfare. I have my hotel, but I haven't booked the airfare yet. So I was waiting for that 75,000 before I book. So, and I'm probably going to be going through Singapore Air. I'm going to try that for the first time. Award Hackers telling me I can get it for business, or not business, but I can get economy for like, what was it, 35,000 round trip, something like that. So I will look into that. United round trip is like 45,000. So I think it was less than 35. I think it was like in the 20s, like 20, maybe 24,000 points. So yeah, I'll be trying that out. So I'll let you guys know how that works. I've never done anything with Singapore Air before. Now, when I say Singapore Air, it doesn't mean I'm flying on Singapore Air. It's just using Singapore Air. They're partnered with the different, I believe, I'm not sure if they're Star Alliance or not. I don't know who they're associated with, but they have partners. They have airline partners, so you can book on Singapore Air, transfer your points over to Singapore Air, book on Singapore Air, but you're going to be flying from Los Angeles to Hawaii, and it will set it up so I have so I'm flying on a different air carrier. Just like the same thing, if I'm flying United, I can book a trip to Colombia, and I'm probably not gonna fly on United plane. I'm probably gonna fly on a different plane, but they're all partnered up, so that's how that works out. Let's see, Julio, what's going on? I got the American Express business screen. Okay, cool. Do you have a business? I mean, you have a business, I'm sure, right? But any special, like, do you have like a sole proprietor business, or do you have like a different business? And I'm just asking this only because I have a few business cards, but people always ask, can I get a business card? What did you use to get a business card? What kind of a business do you have? Okay. Let's see. TEC, is it smarter to use points on flights or hotels? If you have to choose one. So this is Ed asking about using points on airfare or hotel. I usually will use my points on airfare, and I try not to use my points on hotels. And I like to stay in a lot of Airbnbs. That's kind of the way that I offset that. When it comes to flying, you really don't have very many options when it comes to like bargain hunting, right? So if I'm booking a hotel, there are a variety of different hotels that I can book, right? And depending on what I need, like when I travel, usually I don't need much when it comes to a hotel. I really don't. Like I can I can do bare bones and just get the bare necessities that I need. The reason that I like Airbnbs though is because Airbnbs are generally a little cheaper, and you get the washer dryer, which will allow me to pack lighter. So that's the main reason that I do the Airbnbs. But if I'm using points, I like to use points for my airfare because that's generally I don't have an option. Like I have to fly there, right? So I'll use my points there. I'll put all my points into that. And then once I get to my destination, then I can figure out hotel or Airbnb. Not once I get there, but you know what I mean? Like I can work better with not using points in that. And then you can use a lot of points depending on what points you're using. You're staying at Hilton properties and things like that. You're going to use a lot of points to stay at these properties. As many points as you would use to get there probably. Let's say 30,000 points per night is what you use to stay at a Hilton property. And I'm just using Hilton as an example. Some of the other ones are cheaper. Like Hyatt, you can stay at some properties for like 5,000 points. But let's say you spend 30,000 points to stay at a Hilton property. Well, I can get my airfare for like 30,000 round trip. And so the way that I look at that, each night, if I'm spending 30,000 to stay at a Hilton, those are flights, different places, right? Those are different trips that I can take. And then I can save those points for those trips and then just use cash or stay at Airbnb, try to make it reasonable, but stay at Airbnb and save all those points for my flights. I hope that makes sense. If you don't understand what I'm saying, Ed, just ask me again a different way. But yes, the bottom line is I'm using my points for airfare. Let's see. Nick, what's going on? Me and my girlfriend both got the Amex Hilton Honors card, 100,000 point sign up bonus. Also got the Amex Platinum 75,000 sign up bonus for being 20. That's good. Yeah, that is good. So you get your points. You guys are getting your points all stacked up. That's good. Okay, Julio, what made you go with the green? Ed business class, first class flights. Yeah, and then another thing too. Actually, David, you brought up a good point. Another thing too, when it comes to using points to fly, is you can book those business class seats, and usually the business class seats, booking them with points is the way you want to go. You don't want to use cash for that because you're going to pay a lot for those seats, and you can use points and really get some good deals. I just flew to Colombia a couple of months ago, and I used 70,000 points and round trip ticket, business class the whole way. Now it's not going to be the lie flat seat and all that good stuff, but it's still business class. It's still it's pretty nice. The food was good, so you can still get that experience. Now, if I were going to pay for that out of pocket, it was going to cost me probably 3 times as much as an economy seat. An economy seat at the time was I flew. Now you have to understand, I flew out for Carnaval in Barranquilla, Colombia, and it got up to about $1,200 for an economy seat. That's only because of the time period. But yeah, you can fly on. You can use points and fly and have a better experience because you can fly business class or first class, and whereas you wouldn't pay watch my intro, that first little where you see the blinds go up and the windows open, not windows open, but you see the blinds go up and then you see the little airport window and then just the whole room. You could see the room where I showed kind of the view of the whole space that I had, all that good stuff. One-way ticket, 70,000 points, and that is a lot, but 70,000 one way. I only flew back. I flew back business or first class. On the way up, I flew economy. But that seat, that whole deal with the food, all that good stuff, $6,500 is how much that costs if you're paying out of pocket. I don't know too many people who pay out of pocket $6,500, but 70,000 points makes sense to me for that experience. That's equivalent to a cashback of $700. So Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Okay. All right. So you guys are just talking about the cards there. I use points for hotel. So Nika's saying that she used points for hotel. What she's not telling you is that she gets free airfare. So, or she works for airlines, so she's able to fly with them. So yeah, yeah. So you in that case, yes, I would use points for a hotel. Now the only other thing too is there's certain cases like if I'm traveling with friends, I have been known to stay at a Hyatt property, and they used to have the old system where it was points plus cash, which is a really good perk. They still have it, but Hyatt has changed the way they do it. So now it's half the price of the day, the day rate. So let's say if it's $200 to stay there for that night, you pay $100 and then you use a certain amount of points, and they have the points kind of depending on the category of the hotel. And so what I would do in the old days, they had it. It was different where it was just a set fee. You're staying in category one, you're going to use what was it, 5,000 points, 4,000 points, and or maybe it was 2,500 points. 2,500 points plus $50, and then if you're staying in a category two, you're going to pay $55 and 4,000 points or whatever. So it was set, and they had the whole scale. So I didn't have to worry about if I was booking the same day. I didn't have to worry about that cost of that room going up, because if it goes up, now you have to pay whatever the half of that price is. So it fluctuates. It didn't fluctuate back in the day, and so I would do that a lot, where I would do the points plus cash, because I'm only using 5,000, 6,000 points, and then I'm paying a little bit out of pocket. And then if I'm traveling with friends, it's like, okay, I'll book the room, and I book the room. I use points on my end, 5,000 points, and then on their end, they're paying the cash. So I'm just using the points to go. And I did that. Like when I went to Costa Rica, that's what I did. So my buddy paid the cash, which was like $55, and then I used my points to stay all night. So it was like, I think we stayed 5 or 6 nights. Yeah, I think maybe it was 6 nights. So it came out to 30,000 points for me, and then for him, he just paid the cash. So yeah, it worked out. All right. Anything else? Let's see. TEC. What are the biggest challenges with traveling solo to different countries? Uh, Another good question, Ed. You got a lot of good questions, buddy. The biggest challenges. Well, you're alone. You don't have anybody with you. Now, I've traveled alone, and I travel alone now. Like I kind of prefer it. In a lot of situations, it works out better. I do travel with friends from time to time, but if I've been to a destination before, like if I've gone to Colombia before, traveling alone is not that bad. Only because I have friends now. I have friends out there. Or what I recommend you doing is joining a group, like a travel group. Not necessarily one of those travel tour groups, but just like a travel group in a sense that you can get on Facebook, any destination, you can get on Facebook and you can find like an advisory group for that location. And so I would advise doing that. Like I'm in a WhatsApp group right now. It's all about Colombia. So anytime I travel to Colombia, I know that there might be guys there, or we can kind of coordinate things. Like we're coordinating this August trip. So I'm traveling by myself, but I'm going to be meeting up with these guys there. Same thing that we did for Carnaval. I wasn't thinking about going to Carnaval, but when I joined this group, people were already going there. They already had everything set up. And the fact that we use points is just, I have that flexibility where I can just say, oh, you know what? I want to go too. And then book all my stuff and then go. I don't have to have like a 6-month leeway. Like I don't have to plan it, way in advance. I can do it last minute. I booked my flight. It was 2.5 weeks before I went out to Carnaval. So yeah, traveling solo that way, like if you can kind of set up like a WhatsApp group and stuff, it just makes it, or not set up a WhatsApp group, but find like groups and then hang out with them. when you want to hang out with them and then be on your own when you want to be on your own. That's the beauty of traveling solo, because I can do what I want when I want. And I like to do a lot of photography. So I don't expect someone to want to go do photography with me every night or every sunset, because that's what I like to do, go to for sunset. Sometimes I like getting up early in the morning and doing the sunrise. So I don't expect people to just want to do that, right? Unless they're into photography. And I have a buddy that's into photography with me, so we do things together that way. But if they're not, then it becomes a little, I get it. I get it. Or like I wake up early in the morning. When I say early, it's like 4 a.m, so I can get out to an area to take pictures of the sunrise. And then later in that afternoon, I'm probably going to be tired, so I'm going to need to take a nap or something. And so I can't expect people to kind of, work around that. So anyway, that's just my whole thing. Plus, you can also do what I did, like when I went to Paris. That was my first solo trip. I set up different excursions. I set up a photo tour. So I set up things. So I had things going on. So I was never alone. The only time I was alone is when I went back to my hotel room. But other than that, I would go on an excursion. You have people there, and you're going to meet people and everything. Everybody's in a good mood, so everybody wants to talk and all that good stuff. And especially if they see that you are alone, they ask you questions, whatever. It's easy to meet people there. And I found that you meet people there when you travel solo. So one of the biggest challenges of traveling solo, especially if you don't speak the language, is just navigating around all the different things. But that allows you to meet people and strike up conversations and ask people questions. And I mean, your survival instincts kick in, and you have to figure out, okay, how do I get from this area? How do I get from the airport to my hotel? And that's really not that hard. You just get in a taxi and say, hey, take me. But different things, like different parts of the city. How do you get around? How do you use the metro, like the subway, that kind of stuff? So you'll learn all that, but you're striking up conversations with people, and it really gives you an idea of what you're all about. I don't know. For me, it did. It was kind of an eye opener where I was on my own. And it's kind of like when you drive a car for the first time, you get your license, and then you start exploring. You don't know where you're going, but you just start exploring different places. It's kind of like that. You're in a different country. You're not in your comfort zone, and you have to kind of make things work. And you don't have anybody to kind of, rely on or help you. You're on your own. You have to go and fend for yourself. All right. Okay. So I am going to go. I appreciate everybody stopping by. And like I said, next Saturday we'll be on 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we'll start the stream again. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, please post in the comments below. And if you like the video, if you haven't liked the video, please like the video now. Please share it with your friends. And I want to try to get more and more people in here. I want to really make this a place where we can all go and learn about travel. Okay. So that's all I have. Talk to you guys later. Bye.